My mind.
Well, mate, you're a man of wisdom. You know the answers to all these questions. A lot of people don't know what the fuck's going on. So, but why? Because you're special. Well, don't tell too many Christians that they think no one's special, but I think we do. You got that spark in you, and you're one of God's chosen, one of His humble servants.
Well, there must be. There's got to be more of us.
There is, but it's not. I don't know anyone here in Perth. You're the only one. What's everybody doing? Sleeping on the job. Yeah.
Most people probably just need a nudge when push comes to shove.
Exactly. Two more
A lot of people will probably show their true colours, but both ways.
Yep.
You'll see ministers turning bad, and you'll see bikies turning into ministers, and ministers turning into bikies. That sort of thing. You know, when it comes right down to it.
Yeah.
When the axe falls, sort of thing.
Yeah.
You'll have that sort of stuff going on, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, bikies even had their own church once called God's Garbage.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Well, it wasn't a church, it was a bike.
All they did was they like to smoke their bong and their stuff, but they try not to harm each other.
Yeah, but they still worship Satan.
Oh, do they?
Oh, of course.
Oh.
You got the biking group attached to worship by Satan.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for the encouragement anyway.
Yeah, well, I'm keeping a distance from the people in the church. I've been going, but I haven't been sitting with anyone particularly. Haven't been preached to, putting in a pigeonhole. They've got their ideas. They believe that we're not special. We're all shit, and unless you got the Holy Spirit. Look, mate, I've been guided ever since that accident, and I never knew about the grace, and I still got the protection. And so did you. We're still here today. Luckily, mind you, both had an angel encounter. So no one can tell me that I need to deny that angel like a hallucination or something. That definitely got me through my life. And if I deny it, I end up at the casino, I do something stupid. I lose faith. I go into faith crisis. And that's what's getting me through. Right to the end, to be honest. But they say that angels do not lead you into false religion. So obviously it stepped back and allowed me, but then it pulled me out, but got me out of there.
Bill sent me this little short video of this Muslim ruler in 1700, okay?
Oh, yeah.
His name was Ismail. He had over 800 kids, right? And all the Christians that he could find, he had them all strung up in a fucking basement, held up so they had to sleep standing up, all tortured, everything. If anyone looked at him when he was walking, instantly death. No one was allowed to look at him. They all had to fall on their face, right? Fucking Muslim, fucking beast.
They justify it in the name of Allah, God. Yeah. Surely, do you think they know it, or they just don't care because they know they're not the chosen, but they claim
they're
it?
They're going to be the other seed. It's the only explanation. And it says right there, right at the very start, that there are two of us here. In your seed and my seed. So how many ways can you read that? Right? There's no ambiguity there. It says, you got a seed here and I've got a seed here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And he wasn't talking about animals. He's talking about the people. Right? There's a human people. He said, there's two of us here. Now, I don't care what, it's like talking to you, and this is what it says, and that's what I think we can take that to the bank.
Yeah, because
there's two of us. Yeah. So all those fuckers, they've got to be the other seed. That's how they can do that stuff. They're not the same. They can kill people. They can steal and think it's good. if it's a good thing to do to cause stress to another person. Ah,
Yeah.
you know. So, yes. So, within myself, I'm learning that it's not good to push against that, because I think that's what the energy vampires want. They want that resistance and that tension.
Yeah.
So it's about going with the flow and just being calm.
I've got a thing about this going with the flow because it's a bit new agey. You fall into the calm of the flow, where most people are going straight down the flow. They haven't gone upstream to cross over to the waterfall to go down where the realm of spirit is. They're still going the world because they haven't learnt the wisdoms, the love, the empathy. The fruits aren't there, but they're flowing and being blessed by.
Well, I see them as just going the wrong way, fighting against the current.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think there's a bit of upstream to start off with, because when you become a Christian, you get persecution.
You see, there's 4 of those salmon trying to get back upstream,
Yeah.
whacking themselves on the rocks.
Yeah.
Some of them don't make it.
No. Just the luck of the draw.
And so there's this island where all these walruses
Yeah.
once a year, okay?
Yep.
And it's like a hill,
Yep.
a rocky hill, sort of like a small mountain. It's only a small island, and thousands of these walruses come, so there's not enough room on the beach for everybody, right? So they all start climbing over each other to get a higher spot up on the side of the mountain. And they all find a little nest there, all the way out. Maybe a couple of 100 feet, right? And they're all just sort of waiting there, and then all of a sudden the signal goes that it's time to go back to the water, right?
I know.
So they all start going back to the water, and so they all start coming down from the mountain. Some of them fucking fall off, and then whack, on the rocks, and the others go past like, shit, eh? All right, there goes Jack. See you, Jack. Oh, it wasn't me. And they're like, whack, it's Tom.
Survival of the fittest.
And they just go past, have a quick look at him, that's not a good look. Splat.
Just luck of the draw, isn't it? Yeah. Or some evolution would say that would apply to us as humans.
Oh, so you're vaping.
I've been vaping. No more smoke.
Has it got nicotine in it?
Yeah.
And chewing as well.
Well,
I'm not smoking, no.
Yeah, but my lungs feel
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Mate, you get fresh air. Like sitting out here, I haven't been outside for a while, but I'm glad I did. I'm motivated.
Yeah. Are you feeling better for it?
Yeah. As soon as I get outside and I can breathe like this, I feel like I'm ready.
I'd like to think that there's kind of like things happening. YouTube has certainly let a lot of people
Free speech.
have this.
To a certain extent.
To see that, there are a lot of good people out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just got to make sure you push that like button.
Yeah.
And hit the subscribe button. And that bell notification. But it seems to be sort of like you got to wonder why though. If it's obviously 99.99% of them are doing it for money. Well, that's. But we'll all have to earn a living. But some of them are just selling bullshit and they know it. Like Rat Boy.
I like Kenneth Copeland.
Right,
Yeah. False preacher he is.
But there's others out there that, yeah.
Did you know I made a video for you? I dedicated it to you, a music one.
Yeah. Let's go and have a look at this piece.
Let's have a talk first. No rush.
Sure.
Just have a chill out. We will. Yeah. Oh, mate, the best pick. It is equivalent to a Steinway. It's got the heavy action. It's not like the Kauai. That's like a light action. I love them both. But the Kauai, if you hit too hard, the notes don't come out. Now I don't have to beat the thing up. I can only use it just for I use it mainly for the organs and that. And I'm playing the Grand, the German one, on the other piano. And the other piano, you've got 480 extra sounds.
On the new one.
Yeah, and I figured a way of doing it without having an app. Yeah, they didn't say in the manual. I found it on YouTube. There's a way of getting into it without the app. I don't know how to use the USB yet. I'm still working that out. It's a little bit more complicated than the ESA. But the lights, it all flashes up. So when you're playing, you can see the light and just press it to change the sounds, which one is on. And you can split it 3 times, 3 ways.
Okay.
Piano, strings, and bass.
Right.
It's great. Good piano. But I got ripped off a bit. I found out a Cosmic was selling them for $200 cheaper. Yeah. Oh. Didn't know. But I'm going to get another one, not this year. It's called a CK 61 note. It runs on batteries. It's the most powerful battery synth ever. It's brilliant. People use it for gigs, and it's light. It's that big, and mate, it's what I need.
How many keys is it?
61. But it's got rotary, full-on rotary Leslie organ on it, full-on. I mean, my keyboard's got a kind of a half version of it already.
Oh, the new one? What's the new one? What does Leslie sound like on the new one?
You mean the CK61?
Yeah, the new piano.
The one I'm going to get.
No, the one you got now.
Oh, it's got a mini rotary on it.
See, because the other one, the ES8 had a Leslie, but it wasn't that.
No, this one
better, is it?
3 times better.
You can hear it.
Yep. Yeah. But the CK61 is full on rotary, full on. It's brilliant. I'm going to get it because it's got batteries in it. I can just carry it with me for gigs like you and I busking or something. You know? That's $1,300. They're not cheap. You can pick up Clavs and Casios for about $300, but they're pretty crappy. But the piano's not bad, but it hasn't got the action like the one I've got. But it's got the sound, and the sound is
good. Clav. We might get another Clav one day.
I've got 2 here that I pulled out of the shed. They were like $800 when I first brought them. I'd sell both of them for $300, but you can think about that later. Otherwise, I guess go back in the shed. They're good. I got the adapter and everything. It's got all the sounds, the effects, everything. It's just that it doesn't have MIDI, I don't think. Actually, one of them does have MIDI.
Is it weighted?
Not weighted, I don't think.
Not weighted keys?
No, that's why they were cheap, under $1,000. But you can get weighted keys now for about $800.
Yes, weighted keys.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
Otherwise, it's fucking switches. I've got a little contact one. My sister.
Bill gave me that little, what's it called, little Leslie, it's not a Leslie organ, it's a Leslie Casio. It's a great little thing. It's only this big, but it's pretty Mickey Mouse, but you can take it anywhere, you know. So, got that one. Yeah, well, that's the music, and I've been really inspired. I wrote 7 songs in the last few days. I'm having a break now. Perfect timing, by the way. And one of them I dedicated to you. All right, it's there. I thought you might have seen it, but it's got a lot of views.
I haven't listened to any. I've been too busy.
No,
the machine.
You're building machines.
Yeah, it's nearly there.
Mm.
I've been applying for jobs too.
Yeah, no, I saw you. You've built this device for producing electricity.
It's nearly finished. When I get back this afternoon.
Yeah.
The last few.
And it puts a little spark will come out of it, like a little electric thing will come as it turns. There'll be like an electric current will come out of it. The wheel. You've got a sort of a big metal bar and something to drive it.
It's going to drive an generator.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get an alternator.
Gee, I'll buy one from you.
and just drive that just as in the for the.
And if it works, what are you going to do about
the
it?
demo model.
Copyright it?
Yeah. Well, there's.
I mean, there's been
assisted
done.
systems.
But
it's called GraviArc.
right.
Gravity actuator.
So they just won't produce it here for people to sell because.
No, just. I'm just like, I just know I'm going to build it, and they will come, right?
Yeah.
I'll make it,
the teacher
and
shall appear.
then it will open up how it's supposed to open up.
Yeah.
Because will change the world.
Yeah.
This will, if this comes through, if it works,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it gets acknowledged, and I get the patent and
Yeah.
go in the green
You
light.
should do that. Yeah.
It will change the world.
Because there will be a time of no electricity.
This means we can get rid of the reactors. We won't need nuclear reactors, all that terrible waste, and those. We won't need reactors anymore. Okay, we can get rid of them.
Yeah.
Right. This is the big thing. And those terrible fucking batteries.
Yeah.
Lithium batteries that are destroying the world.
Do you know they're produced by slaves? I saw a video.
We can get. Well, we won't need them.
No.
We won't need reactors, and we won't need those big batteries. Right. If this works.
Yep.
So that's why I've got to keep going, and it's nearly finished. I've been 2 years, been doing nothing but.
I know.
Spent all my money.
At least you got the space
in
to
that
do it.
little shed through winter and freezing cold, with rain dripping down on the bench while I'm trying to work.
Yeah, I know.
But it's nearly there.
I got to see, because I've seen it. It's not finished yet, but looked like pretty impressive.
Oh, you wait till you see it now. Oh.
What would you sell them for?
Hey?
What would you sell it for? A big contraption like that. What would you sell it for?
Well, see, this is it. I want to make them, okay?
Yeah, make them. Yeah.
So, and then I will either sell them or lease them to companies around the world, power companies.
Power companies.
Okay, will replace their reactors and generators with these things. Okay, so they're quite a big installation, but not And so I'll sell them, and they will set them up, and they will produce power for their area.
Yep.
And I'll get a royalty from the amount of power they produce. Like 1 cent a kilowatt hour, something like that, right?
Yep.
Whatever it is, 5 cents a kilowatt hour.
Yep.
So they'll either buy or lease, and I'm in a factory, I'll be making the units.
Yeah.
Right, making all the bits and pieces.
Yep.
And the way I've designed this, it can all be put in a box and fucking shipped.
Yeah.
Right, in a kit. I've made it designed specifically to be like a kit form.
Yeah.
So I can put them all in a big crate, make it, and then just send it anywhere in the world. And I just take all the bits out of the crate, out of the sea container, and it'll just be there. Put it all together. That's why, you see. So anywhere in the desert, fucking anywhere.
Yeah.
Just one of these helicopter can drop the sea container down in the sand.
Yeah.
They can put it together, assemble everything, and then they got power. Decent power. 3-phase fucking power.
It's about 6 foot long, isn't it?
Oh, longer than that. Like I'd say a decent sized installation would require an area that long and probably twice as wide. All right.
Oh yeah, big like a station.
Decent installation and about
sort
of 10 meters high.
Yeah.
All right. That's not big.
No.
That's not big at all. For a fucking power station a couple of acres.
Yeah.
We're talking, a few hundred square meters. That's all. And that will, and so, in other words, instead of one big power station having the power for 10 million people, okay, you have 10 small power stations, each feeding like 1 million people. And because they're only small and clean, you can put these small ones anywhere in an industrial area. Okay? And it's quiet, totally quiet.
Totally quiet.
Totally quiet, totally
That's
green.
good for the image.
Totally green. Yeah. So you can have them in factory units. So you can have lots of them, all covering a certain area, and they can be connected up, That's the idea. And that's the plan.
You're a pretty smart dude.
All right.
You got a gift there. See, I don't have that type of gift. No.
Well, yes.
Everybody's got gifts, but that's different because you're putting it to practice now. You've been talking about this a long time. I like this idea because I know that meteorite 2029 could happen. It's prophecy, wormwood. If that happens, if people have got them, are going to be able to still have power, electricity.
Yeah, if that's what I'm thinking, maybe it's the time for this, because it's very simple.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
And so I'm thinking, why, if it's so simple, why haven't people thought of it? So then I can think of is that it's been kept away from people until now, because they've all been sucking off the tree of knowledge, trying to make something shiny and sexy, okay, like reactors and stuff like that. Whereas this has come from just the desire to create something beneficial and non-destructive, and its inspiration has come from like another place.
Yeah. You know, a brother contacted me about a book he wrote all about Christianity or whatever. It's only not that big. It's about 100 pages or something. But I sent him a 30-minute audio to tell him what I thought about the book. It was just enough to read, you know. Explain what I believe and the fruits and the wisdoms and a little bit about the Gnostic thing. But I don't think he even looked at it. He hasn't even replied because it's too long, and it's like he doesn't. It's like he's got his input, but he won't listen to any other input at this stage anyway, because he hasn't responded. I'm just saying, you know, when people write these books and they've got this tunnel vision for some idea, but see, you and I have always been open. That's how we've learnt these wisdoms. We've actually had an open mind. We're not ignorant. And now we can, at this age, we can actually say what we do believe is going to work. And we have listened to people. We listen to too many people probably. But now we're doing what we believe is right. Like my music is right for me. The preaching, gum flapping. Why am I not preaching as much now since I stopped smoking? I've got more emotion. I've got more purity in my heart. I'm going for the music.
Silence is always a much better option.
Yeah.
Let no man teach you. Let everyone.
Yeah.
You know, you just think about yourself.
There's people making money. Yeah, people making money and books and writing books on this religion, Christianity, getting rich off of it.
Yeah, well, they probably don't have any other talents. Yeah. Or if they do, they haven't realised them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
It's
just taking the path of least resistance.
Just talking to make money, like politicians.
It's the new way to make money. So yeah, like politics. Oh yeah, politics, good money.
And they can never answer a question. They always diverge around the question. Why aren't they doing helping the hospitals? We need medical equipment and so forth. They just seem to put towards fucking roads.
And nuclear submarines, and now
missiles.
Billions on new missiles.
Yeah.
That was
on. It's not going to stop China anyway.
Fucking missiles. There was this $8 billion for fucking half a dozen missiles.
Yeah.
China might have 1,000.
Yeah.
So we're going to have it. They need to be spending the money on fucking defence.
Maybe they're just trying to protect the headquarters.
It's all business with the mates and.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Look at us, we're powerful. We've got this.
And we can, it's like the alliances and the politics of it, you know what I mean? And supporting the fucking American.
I've got no respect for any politician doesn't help the people sick in the hospitals, let alone the poor. That's what I'd do. Billionaires.
Well, most of them, the politicians, they've got to be the other side.
Yeah.
Have to be. The people, the elite, the rich and the powerful people in the world, the politicians and the movers and shakers.
Yeah.
It's got to be the other side.
And the ones that are genuine get bumped off from the Illuminati because they're not going through that ritual of the, drinking the blood. They avoid that.
You see, they're probably wishy-washy fence sitters as the ones that get knocked off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The righteous ones probably just don't even get involved.
No.
If I was to be put into that position, I would get involved. And maybe this is what we need to start seeing. Some of us getting involved at that level, but that's not really happening. Probably because the other seed's got it all locked up and the other ones can't get up there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But if God decides one day that he wants one of his up there, he'll go up there. Yeah. There wouldn't be any doubt. Okay, now it's time for you to go up there, no matter what Sludge Boy says. Sludge Boy is going up there.
Sludge Boy Satan, yeah.
You know, it doesn't matter what he says. It's like, no, I want him up there. But that hasn't happened yet, right? But that's what we need.
Yeah.
Imagine if he said that got half a dozen of his people up there in different countries, you know, at the top. The world would change overnight.
Yeah.
Overnight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? I mean, I've always got this big vision board thing going on of me being the premier here and absolutely fucking fixing WA in 2 weeks. The schools, the hospitals, the homeless 2 weeks sorted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
but you'll still get people who'll complain that the money's not going towards other things or pay rises and all that.
You know, but as far as the schools, the hospitals and the homeless and that will be sorted in a couple of weeks. Like there wouldn't be one homeless person in WA. There wouldn't be one average substandard school or fucking hospital.
I mean, communism's not a bad thing. It depends on the dictator, but there's never been a good dictator. Tell me one communist movement where there's been a good dictator. Because it's equality and fairness among everybody, no matter if you're a scientist or you're a garbage truck collector, which is important. It's equality. Everybody's equal. Everybody gets a house. Everybody gets everything, but they have to answer to a dictator. So,
well, see, it's like it's the system, which which particular system. But any system is only kind of as good as the people operating it. Okay?
Yeah.
Whether it's capitalism or communism.
Or communism, yeah.
They could both work if you had genuine righteous people organising things. Yeah. But there's not. No, in both of those, in all of it, you've got these corrupt...
Even in religion, they've got rich churches.
That's what I mean. So nothing here works.
Yeah.
This is what all the more talking about for so long. Is you can't get any decent wisdom or inspiration or anything from anything here.
Yeah.
It's just not here.
I mean, they're not even following the principles of the Bible, because the Old Testament says the rich gave to the poor Levites working in the temple. Today it's now the poor people giving to the rich people working in the temple.
You can't get past thou shalt not kill. You can't get past that. Because killing never stopped. It just got worse after they read that.
In the name of God.
Yes, but thou shalt not kill. Oh, okay. How hard is that to understand? Did that happen?
That's ego.
From anyone?
Pride, ego.
From anyone? No. But hang on, it's one of the 10 Commandments. Oh, yeah, we don't worry about that one.
Yeah.
So nothing has worked. You know? Yeah. Any system is only, as good as the people, and the people are not good because of all the reasons why.
Yeah.
So that just leaves you and me kind of on our own, looking at the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Working our way towards being righteous.
Yeah.
Trying to understand what that is in the present day, in the present time.
Yeah.
Because at various times, righteousness is kind of like meant different things. Look at all the terrible things that the Pope and the fucking all those priests did in the name of righteousness. And the witch burnings from the Christians.
And what is it when it says, when Paul said love covers a multitude of sins, but God forbid that doesn't give us a license to sin, it doesn't mean we deliberately plot and plan, okay, this particular week I get drunk and I play sport after church every Sunday. You start locking it in. It covers sins that we don't expect can happen.
Yeah, probably things like swearing.
But it even covers
it's like the intent.
Intent.
That's what it's all about. It's like if you swear, I'm not supposed to swear, okay?
Yeah.
But if before you swear, if you have the thought, if I say this swear word, that's going to upset God. I don't care, I'm going to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a difference between that and talking and swearing. And,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Well, if a couple are going to get
that stuff
married,
is covered.
and they're going to get married and they slip up before marriage, that's the intent was they were going to get married and they just got tempted. That could be covered. Things like that. But not just sleeping around and night clubbing and
Yeah, it's
parties.
the intent. And this is where the books are going to be opened, and every intent will be examined. And I think everyone that's ever lived will hear every intention of everyone's heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
From all time. Everyone will every intention of everyone.
Do you know I've always had a principle? It sounds a bit.
That.
Yeah. I had never slept with a woman, to my knowledge, without proposal first, even though it doesn't go through with it. And they get shocked. What? He said, you know, if they reject me, then I don't sleep with them. So I've committed my...
In a similar way, whenever I used to go with massages and that, I always used to ask them if they wanted to be my girlfriend.
Yeah, and they didn't like that.
Way, you know,
but they didn't like that.
Well, some of them did.
They did? Oh, okay.
You know, no, I had a couple of bites. You know, but
just be nice to them. Yeah.
But there was always trying that extra, you know, like trying to put something really
some love into it.
It wasn't
emotion.
Just
Exactly. Yeah, they're there to do a job.
Most of them, the other ones.
Well, that's why I always love Thailand, because they do give love, but they're not in love, but they give love. But still, it's still a sin. But
I asked, there was just one of the IGA that we talking to before. Anyway, I finally asked her about. Oh no, I've got a boyfriend. Like, oh, okay, I catch you.
Yeah.
Oh, I burned all the way home. Fucking in flames.
Yeah.
Feel the heat on my forehead, everything. You know, like I swear it all the
probably
way
just
home.
saw you as a dirty old man.
Hey?
Just saw you as a dirty old man.
Yeah.
But yet violence is okay, but it's not okay
not
to...
so much a dirty old man, but just an older, just dreamer. Kind of like...
Well,
you know,
the
like,
people in other countries, they love your character and your honesty too. That's part of it.
Yeah, but it was
but here...
age difference, I know. But just like, but that body on her. She wears these... Because she's very tall, sort of 5'11", up nearly my height, you know.
Yeah.
She wears those tight things, those lycra tights. She's got this beautiful body, and she's a beautiful face.
You are dreaming.
Oh, that lucky bastard.
You won't find that in this country, mate. At this age, it's just crazy. Women have got money here. They don't need your money. But you go to countries where they actually need your security, and they will love you. They will stick with you as long as you give them money. Walking ATM machine. But they are good. Yeah.
Yeah, but
anyway.
The beautiful eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't go back to the IGA anymore.
Ah.
I ruined it. But I was getting on, having good little chats with her. She was smiling and laughing, you know. Oh, no, I've got a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Oh,
you would have made a good uncle or something.
Granddad.
Well, depends what location, where you go. I gave up on the Western world a long time ago, mate. But
I haven't given up. There's another one at the other shopping centres that I've been sort of talking. I got about 3 on the go. One at,
mate, you are single and that. And
one at Subway.
Yeah.
I went in there a couple of weeks ago and I said to her, do you remember me? She said, I do actually. The way she said it, you know, I do actually. When they say it like that, you know, they're trying to convey, yes, I remember you. You know, in other words, then I'm glad to see you again, sort of thing. She's very young too, but
they'd have to smoke a bong with you, mate, because otherwise it'd be boring to you.
I might have to lay off that for a while because I'm going for this company.
Oh yeah.
I did a call centre job, and sometimes you work from home. Right? They've suddenly put me out. The work people are putting me up for it.
Yeah.
It's in West Perth, 5 weeks paid training.
Oh yeah.
Okay? And then you work in a call centre, answering calls.
Sitting
down.
Call centre. Wow.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get that.
Yeah.
But the machine's nearly finished. This is going to change the world. See, one thing I'll admit, there's one thing, see, you know, through the last 10 million years, okay,
Yep.
the geologists found out that there have been about half a dozen really nasty events, okay?
In the last how many years?
10 million.
Oh, really bad ones, like
Yeah, around the, you know,
like the flood and all that.
and volcanoes
Yeah.
and earthquakes and continents.
Well, a minute, I've got a surprise for you. Especially so. There you go, mate. There was a bit of birthday cake that was given to me. I had to eat that because it's got sugar in it. Beautiful, you have that.
Okay.
Bit frozen up.
It's frozen. Take it home.
Oh, what's this? I
Frozen.
don't know what that is. That's
Frozen. Happy birthday to you.
yeah.
You were born in us. Your mother was an elephant. And so
Oh, my birthday's coming up a couple of months. Yeah.
Okay, so there've been about half a dozen really bad
Yeah.
events
Yeah.
called ELEs, extinction level events, right? And one of them wiped out the dinosaurs.
That's true.
Other one, you know, the continent shift, the poles
Yeah.
shift, all. So there's been a half a dozen really. So the whole planet,
Yeah.
quite really,
Yeah. Big catastrophe.
yeah, nasty.
Yeah. 1 minute again, I'm hungry. I've got to grab myself.
I want to try a little experiment, okay?
Yeah.
Now,
Yep.
that you own, I mean, it's probably going to be pretty hard for you to do this, but make an effort. Right? Now, I want you to pretend that you own a nuclear reactor, okay? In other words, you're as rich as shit and you own a nuclear reactor, okay? And your family, there's a business, okay? Producing power, and you got nothing to prove, you don't answer to anybody, you know, you got millions in your pocket, right? You own a nuclear reactor, right? Now, can you do that? Be that? Just for a minute, be that in your mind.
Okay, be that, yep.
To be that. You own a nuclear reactor. You've got a fucking nice Merc waiting outside, but you've come to a meeting. You've been asked to come to a meeting with me, to see me, and there are other people here too, okay? But you're a businessman, and as far as you're concerned, reactors are that's what we use to produce power, and you've got one, and you've come here to see what's going on in this meeting, all right? Now, so why I'm asking you to do that is because one day I may be sitting across from someone who owns a nuclear reactor, all right, who thinks that that's the way to produce power, all right? And I'm going to tell them this little story. So I want you to just try and objectively gauge the effect this might have on you if I told you this story, right?
Okay.
In the last 10 million years, there's been half a dozen ELEs, extinction level events, right? Now, each time that's happened, the Earth has recovered, all right?
Yeah.
But there's one thing different about today that's different than any other time in the last 10 million years. Can you tell me what that is?
Well, a nuclear can wipe out the Earth and destroy it completely. But at the same time, the second coming of Christ is
No.
nothing like that.
the thing that's different between this time and all the other times, okay, that the Earth has had these upheavals, okay, is this time the planet is covered with nuclear reactors, right? It's never happened before, all right?
Yeah.
So if there's one of those events now, this time, the Earth won't recover because we will have poisoned it, because that uranium is supposed to be buried deep underground, and now it's been brought out and it's exposed. And if that all gets out in the air, the Earth will be poisoned for millions and millions of years, and it won't recover. There was actually a Netflix serial on it called The 100, okay, where the exact thing happened. So that's why we need to shut down the reactors. Now, if you owned a nuclear reactor, what would you say to that?
There's no point using the sucker because you know that you'll be wiped out in the process, because you send one missile to them, to that country, they send one to yours.
No, the thing I'm talking about, a natural disaster.
Right. What?
If that happened and all the nuclear reactors became destabilized.
Destabilized.
You know, I mean, they melted down because there's no one there to look after them, and they all melted down and poisoned the Earth forever. That's why.
Radiation, yeah.
Yeah. You see, that's different than any other time in history where the Earth will recover, but this time it won't because of the radiation.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why we have to shut the reactors down. Your reactor, I have to shut it down. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm on your side. I wouldn't be in that position, but if I wasn't...
No, you own a reactor, so how would you think that make you feel? What would you think after hearing that?
Good question. I denounce it. I would. It's not as if I'm selling it to somebody else to blow the world up. It's shut down. It's poisoned the Earth. It's radio. I just step aside. I don't care about the money.
Now that you understand that if there is a big event, the Earth will be poisoned forever.
Yeah, well, that's the truth. That's what would happen. I mean, if they didn't, what sort of person would that be? Who would not step aside for the sake of it, some money to live it up until he ends up with bloody zombie.
See, don't forget, I've got an alternative.
Okay.
I've got something to replace it.
Oh, yeah, a replacement. I see.
So I can say, have these instead.
Well, you got something to offer. Put on the table.
Yeah.
Big natural reactor.
Yeah. Clean and green and quiet.
Well, that's a different story, yeah. You've got something to actually... That's good.
And because of the vision, it just feels like this is going to happen, and it's why it was given to me, because of this particular vision that I've got, that it needs, that this wasn't going to go to someone who was just going to exploit it. It was going to go to the person who was going to do the right thing with it. It's so simple. So that must be why it's been kept from everybody, right? And it's and it said, like that, it's the weak things of the world that turn out to be the strong things. The meek, unassuming thing is the one that turns out to be the hero. So here's little old me from nowhere, little old no one from nowhere, comes out with the thing that's going to
People do things because they can. Just getting a little example on the way to Albany. On the way to cross the border to go to South Australia. The service station was charging 3 times more for a pie. And I was pissed off about it, like $12 for a pie. And the bus driver was all capitalistic sitting there. I said, walking back in the bus with this pie, I said, why is this place so expensive, mate? And you must come here every few days to take people across the border. And he was angry at me or looking at me like, well, stop complaining. This is the only stop we have before we hit the Nullarbor Plain, which is the desert. And he said, people do what they do because they can. And when you can do it. And he said it with such conviction. People do it because they've got the power to do so. They've got the power to charge. And
well, that's the other seed.
Yeah.
This is the other seed. That's what they... That's it.
I wouldn't have.
You will see, because it's got to be them. That kind of answers everything.
My dad was not against all that, except
why.
the tax. He was always, he was right about too much tax in this country. Even Paul Hogan got caught out, the Crocodile Dundee. He got taxed. America was treated him better than Australia. But anyway.
The promise is that at the books, both seeds are going to be there. Both seeds, right? And the intents are going to be looked at, all right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be fair. That's what I mean. You're going to have bikies going up and ministers going down.
Is going to be anyone repenting from the other seed?
Well, that's what I mean. There's going to be from all sorts. You're going to have bikies going up and ministers coming down. You know what I mean? That's how it's going to
The last shall be first. The first shall be last.
Yeah. It's going to be from both sides. It'll be like, okay, look, there's that. Oh, who knew? Oh, I thought,
yeah, right.
Like that, you know.
Be surprised who gets to heaven and who doesn't.
We'll see all of the original seed. They're all going home, right? But it'll be the other seed. Some of them will repent and get the chance. Right, because, you know, it'll be fair, all right? It'll be fair, okay? It'll be fair. So, yeah.
I mean, I even had a dream that when I met you in the dream, you were all in white robes and you were there standing, you were in heaven. And before that, I was judging because you being a dope smoker, I thought, no, friggin' way. And then, because you could say the same with me because I had all this passion and traveling the world and everything. Two wrongs don't make a right, but it's the intent. And of course, being alive, praise the Lord, because as long as you're alive, you've got a chance to change your mind, come onto the cross that way. But no, I was shown in a dream, you were one of God's chosen. Despite not what goes in the body, what comes out of the body. For me personally, I just can't handle it the way you can. You're stronger than me. So is your father. He was as strong as an ox. But I often wonder, you know, what if there is a awakening, not just like fellow Christians believe you just sleep until the resurrection. There's nothing. Or you end up in hell or heaven. There's no in-between place. But if your dad is around, I hope he's proud of you. I wonder what my dad's thinking about me.
I'm hoping to make him proud of me.
I even dedicated this video I made for your music for your dad as well.
Yeah,
mate. Let's go and check out the Yamaha P515. Greatest stage piano ever made. I think that's charged. Cheers.